When it comes to building your portfolio, how have you gone about that? Do you have different like portfolio pieces for like all these different aspects of you, or did you combine them? Because I think there's creatives who are kind of like multi talented or multi potentialites, and you have like these different things that you do, but you don't know how to present them like in one front. What do you advise them to do?
That's a very broad question. First of all, no, I separate things. I've been grouping things, and at times I think you kind of have to. But no, I separate things to the point I even have, different Instagram accounts. I've decided that at times, it doesn't happen often, but at times I am approached as a photographer.
Yeah.
And so I got to a point where I'm refusing any commercial photography. For me, my goal is to do the work of a photographer. It's either for Imigani or is to be exhibited or is to be part of a publication, so that I can do it as an artist. And so for people to get that, the kind of aesthetics that I like, they can see for themselves. And so it has become very, what's the word I'm looking for? It's either you like it or it doesn't resonate with you, right? I feel like some people that are interested in my work in photography, like I've been commissioned last year for portraits of Gael Faye, you know Gael Faye?
Yes.
And it was portraits of him in Nyamirambo, and the people that commissioned me, I don't think they're interested in what I'm doing with, my Instagram stories and doing my vlogging and all of that.
Yeah.
And they have this very, they I think the kind of work that they enjoy looking at is street photography, candid photography, exhibitions, things like that. And so with that, I had to make sure that I dedicated things. Dedicate things, yeah. And so now to the portfolio, for sure. Like, who is reaching out to me?
Yeah.
Is it for strategic work? Is it strategy with a creative edge? Is it photography? And so so there's that. But I think for myself also, to have an understanding of what I do, I realized that it's going to be impossible for me to make a living with one career or one job. I try to negotiate for salaries that I aspire to. It hasn't really worked. Negotiation has been possible on how to accommodate things, but then or maybe it says a lot about the time that we are in, and for me that is the gig economy. And so with that I thought, okay, so I can work as a strategist, I can work as a photographer. I've worked as a videographer. I no longer work as a videographer. I feel that technology has evolved and times have changed, and the way videos are done today is not something that I can do. But I'm still involved with it as a creative director at times. And then there's the work that I would like to do with Imigani, being a living archive of the creative industry. And so the way I think about it now is to think about having a mind map, and I think that is important for a creative. And so if you have those different things that you can do, be more specific, as opposed to people seeing you as one creative being able to do different things. Because the problem with that is that you are going to be, that it goes back to what I was saying before, you're going to be hired as a creative that can do different things, as opposed to give value to each of these skills. And so this is where you lose money, because if people think like, oh, but she has worked as a videographer, she can arrange herself. I don't know how people think about it, but typically video content takes a lot of resources. And so now I'll probably subcontract someone or subcontract a crew, and I've worked at a loss so many times because of that. And so it's very important that you are, I don't like using the word branding yourself, but that's kind of what it is. And how all of these things are respected. So you need to have your mind map, where it start with that big circle, which is your general know-how, and then you have those different branches, and those different branches have, all of them have
portfolios.
Portfolios or those areas. I'm saying all of this, I didn't come up with this. I saw this in the platform called Masterclass. It's quite expensive, but it's good. The content is good.
I've seen ads, but I've never like actually used the platform.
I used it for a year. It's great. And so there's this former Teen Vogue editor, Ellen Waltherworth, and she said that she got it from Tyra Banks, I think. And I think to me that's really relevant for creatives. You have your general expertise, and then you have those branches for these different areas, and each of these areas now you have to be more specific. And so it helped me to think about the type of photography I like to do, the type of strategy I like to do. I think people come to me specifically for content strategy and not marketing, for example. And so doing that allowed me to get more precise, and I also try to be as specific on social media and my communication, and getting back to what you were saying about having a portfolio, looking for a full-time job. I put my portfolio on LinkedIn. Eventually, after a month, Tori got in touch with me. They DM'd me. That's how we met. I had to do an assignment. We negotiated, and then eventually I joined. And so it has worked in a way that was a lot more effective than I thought it was going to be. And so to me, I had to go through all of that thinking, what is it that I do, and who's going to benefit from that work, and how can I be clear about it?